Hello everyone. Thank you once again for joining me. I'm so happy that you clicked on this video. So let's get right on into it. This book review is on the book called Every Other Weekend by Zulema Renee Summerfield. And this is the cover of that book. It's Every Other Weekend. Okay, interesting kind of cover. It did catch my eye, that's why I picked it up. So, let's get to it. This story involves a blended family and is told by an 8-year-old character, Minnie. Yes, that's her name in the book, Minnie. She talks about things that have happened in her life and with her family. So the first part of the blended family is Minnie, her mother, her father, and 2 brothers, Tiny and Bubbles. The second half of the blended family is Rick, his daughter Kat, son Charles, and ex-wife Windsor. Now, this story is about how this family navigates divorce, blending of families, death, and kind of ordinary life things that happened in one's youth. Minnie takes us along and gives her story about what the family has gone through. You get to see the story through pretty much an 8-year-old's perspective. During the reading of this book, I felt like, where is this going? Like, what's the destination? Why are we reading this? I just felt like, where is this story going? Okay, so once you get past that, there is no, specific destination. There's not a mystery to solve. There's nothing you have to figure out or try to figure out, and you're just truly reading about a period of Minnie's life. I think once you get to that point, hopefully very quickly, or you probably won't read the whole book, but if you get to that point pretty quickly, you can appreciate it for really what it is. You're looking through these events from an adolescent mindset and perspective, okay? This period of Minnie's life gives way to a good deal of loss and adjustment. Her parents have divorced. Her mother has begun a new relationship with a man named Rick, and the adjustment of merging families and living together. Minnie shares the experience of attending a Catholic school and interactions with her teachers and peers. She shows us how the family has dealt with the death of 2 family members. She shares her thoughts and fears about pretty much, what's going on in her life and around her. Reading this book can, kind of clue you into how perceptive children are. How they are aware of what is going on around them, and how their mind can wonder, speculate, and create a narrative that rings true for them. It was interesting to see the life events through another lens. I was wondering what genre this book fell under. Because, like I said, it's not a mystery. There's nothing to figure out. Yeah. So I was like, where does this fall? Okay. So, according to Google, the book is under the genre of historical fiction, which it is not the typical historical fiction that you would think of. Maybe this was placed under this category because of the Vietnam references. I mean, this is not a period piece. It's not really historical other than relaying a time period for this child, but I wouldn't typically think of that as historical fiction. And it also put this book under the coming of age category. Maybe a little bit because of the experiences, but not really what I would think of a coming of age story. Humorous fiction. I mean, I chuckled here and there, but it isn't what I would call a comedy by any means. At least not for me. I mean, one may laugh a little bit more than I did, but I get a little chuckle. It also put it under the category of domestic fiction, which is probably, out of all of them, the best fit. I mean, it's really just talking about this family's life, really. There are a couple of warnings to give. There is death mentioned in minor detail, no goriness, just kind of, there it is. Nini and her siblings attend Sacred Heart Catholic School, so there is some religious talk and perspective in the book. There is no discussion questions provided in the book, which I would have definitely wanted for this book, because had the author provided some discussion questions, it would have kind of clued me into, like, what am I supposed to get out of this? I mean, like, where were you going with this? Like, what did you want us to take away from reading this? So some discussion questions from the author would have been helpful. Some topics of discussion that I came up with would be how one copes with death and what the grieving process may look like for some people. I know that can be different and look different, feel different for different people. So that's a good kind of topic. How one interacts with a person that is grieving, what is helpful and what's not, which I believe greatly depends on the person and is a case-by-case thing. It's always felt weird to me to say I'm sorry for your loss, because it's almost like, what are you sorry for? What are you sorry for? Did you do it? Did you have something to do with it? But that's just almost kind of like a blanket statement that everyone uses. I'm sorry for your loss. I mean, a blanket statement, condolences to you and your family. I use that one a lot. I just say condolences to you and family, because another thing is, are you okay? No, the person is not okay. Why are you asking them if they're okay? They're not okay. I mean, that's one of the just don'ts. Like, they're not okay. I mean, they just experienced a loss. They're not okay. And they're going to say, I'm fine, I'm okay. No, they're not okay. If you didn't know, and if they're not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, they're not okay. Okay? So stop asking if you're okay. but that's definitely a topic that you could dive into. The topic of how children perceive and process events in their lives. The topic of how divorce affects the children and parents. Public school versus private or religious schools, pros and cons. A conversation on would you make the same decision as the parents in this book, why or why not. There was one decision made that I just felt like, why would you do that? It just felt odd to me that the parents would make the choice that they made, and it just felt odd, and Minnie kind of spoke on it, and gave her 2 cents about how she felt about that decision, which, I mean, I agree with her. It was, I just didn't understand the parents' reasoning for that. But you'll have to read the book to find out what that decision is, and you know, what surrounded or led up to that decision being made. You could dissect the children's reactions and behaviors to the events happening in their lives as a topic of discussion. These are just a few to get the conversation going. I'm sure if you read the book, you could dive a little deeper and come up with more discussion topics. This book was really a palate cleanser for me. Like I said, it took me a minute to just adjust. I want to say that the book is written well. It just wasn't, I mean, there was no drama, not really. It was pretty even keeled. It's 272 pages, so it's not actually that long. I walked away feeling like, alright, that's it. I read it. I got what I could get from it. I don't desire to know more. I mean, if you're looking for something to clean your literary palate, then this could be the book to do it. Man, I don't know if you hear that or not, but it is raining here. And it just started back up, so I don't know if you can hear that or not. But, yeah, it is nice weather to curl up with your blankie, a good book, some snacks and a drink. Yes, this is that kind of weather, which is exactly what I'm about to do when I get done with this video. So if you've read the book, comment your thoughts. I really want to know what you think about this. Maybe you had some different takeaways. Maybe you saw it in another light or perspective, and I definitely want to know what you think about it. Because, like I said, I kind of was left with, okay, I read it, and okay. And I didn't have, I mean, there are a few areas that I was just like, why did you do that? Like, yeah. So there was a couple of things I could relate to, but overall, I gave this a 6 out of 10. It didn't do much for me. So you may definitely look at it differently. If you do, let me know. So if you haven't read the book and you need a palate cleanser, this could definitely do that for you. And so if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. It definitely allows you to get a notification of when a post has been made, so that you can stay in the loop. Click like, share, tell some friends to come on over and take a look and see if they are interested in any of the reviews and are enticed to pick up a book or listen to a book. I was talking to a lady actually today, and of course I had my book with me, and so she saw the book title, whatever, and actually it's Tamara Mallory book that came out, and so she was like, oh yeah, I like that title, I like wine and I like cookies, and I was like, yeah, I said, I think this book has a long waiting list for it, because I think people want to know if she talks about her sister in it. She's at a filed for divorce. I don't know if it's finalized or not or whatever, but I think there's a long list because I think people are wanting to see if she talks about that at all. I just started it yesterday, so I don't know. We'll see. But as we were talking about the book or whatever, she was like, yeah, I like to read, whatnot. And she was like, but, finding time and whatnot. And I said, well, have you tried audiobooks? And she's like, well, no, I haven't tried audiobooks because, I like the, physical copy, whatever. I said, but if you want to increase your reading, you might want to consider audiobooks. I said, because you can, listen to it while you do your work. You can listen to it while you, run errands, do your chores, go, drive. I mean, that is the most convenient way to read a book / listen to a book and still get things done. Because we know, looking at your Kindle or tablet or the physical copy, it forces you to sit and read. And we know in this day and age, things are go, go, go and what have you. So if you don't have that time to just sit and read, then audiobooks is the way to go. I had a friend of mine made fun of me not too long ago because they're like, you're like a kid. You put your audiobook on, and I use Hoopla, which is connected to public library, and so I get the benefits of their catalog, and so I check out my book on Hoopla, and Hoopla has where you could set a timer. So pretty much, just depending, I'll set, an hour and a half timer, and then it's like someone's reading you a bedtime story. Like, seriously, it's like someone's reading you a bedtime story. And I have cheated with my grandchildren and have used audiobooks for bedtime stories because by then I'm tired too. So we can both lay here and listen to the audiobook. How about that? So I definitely advocate for listening to audiobooks. Also, And just FYI, anybody with little G babies or, you know, little kids, Pandora has like podcast channels. So you have your music channel, and then there's like a podcast channel thing. And I have found quite a few podcasts that are like storytelling. We listen to Thomas the Train storytelling podcast on Pandora. We also listen to Reading Bug Adventures, which is really cool. And then there's one called Little Stories for Tiny People. I absolutely love that one. So those are the three main ones that we currently listen to on Pandora. No, this is not an advertisement for Pandora. No, I'm not getting anything from Pandora for mentioning it. It's just something that I thought of really while doing this video that I would mention. But definitely try out audiobooks if you are a busy person and you want to get your reading in, but you don't always have the time to sit down with a physical book. If you have children of any age, really, but starting off with young children enjoying reading or listening to stories, definitely check out Pandora's podcasts for podcasts that read stories. And also Hoopla definitely has children's selections and audiobooks. I don't know if everybody has the same number of monthly checkouts, so you might want to find that out. I know for me, I think I get like 15 checkouts per month. So I know that children's books, you know, especially when they're like 5-10 minutes, that can kind of rack up pretty quickly. So you may want to see if the child option has more checkouts or not. I don't know. Something else that I just found out like today when I woke up this morning. I was going over to Overdrive to look for a book and to see if they had it on audiobook. And I got a pop-up, and it said that Overdrive in 2023 will be ending, and all those clients, I call them clients, all the clients will be transferred over to Libby. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that at all. I do not like Libby. I do not like Libby, okay? If anybody has any connections to Overdrive, please tell them do not do that. Do not do that. You know what? For Overdrive, I would actually pay for a monthly subscription. If it's monetary that's causing this to happen, I will be happy to pay for a subscription. I mean, reasonably priced, of course, but I pay for a subscription. I don't, Libby is a last resort. Libby is just like, if I can't get it anywhere else, if I cannot, then that's an option. That's the last option. If anybody knows anybody over at Overdrive, please tell them that their customers are not happy about this change, and we don't want them to do this change. And if it's about monetary gain, we'll be happy to pay a small subscription fee. Okay. I was just floored when I saw that pop up today. I was just like, what you say? You say what? You're gonna do what? Oh no. We don't do it. Don't do it. Today has been full of changes. Okay, weather changes. Overdrive is changing. Just time is changing. Just changing. Oh. So, okay, let me get off of here so that I can go curl up with this book and get it finished so that I can tell you about it, okay? So, please subscribe, click like, share, tell your friends to come on over, and until next time, keep turning the pages, my book lovers!